On this edition of the program, we look at an initiative designed to find artists in the region who can lend their talents to create an art for transit. Football is back, and we've got your winning no-hassle ride to everything the Ravens season has to offer at M&T Bank Stadium. We'll also look at an important effort to feed the hungry this holiday season, and your customer questions and concerns in our Ask the MTA segment, right here. Hello, I'm Deandra Walker, and welcome to Commuter Connections. If you're a regular viewer of this program, you've certainly seen us feature information about the Purple Line Transit Project, which is slated for development in the Washington suburbs of Montgomery and Prince George's County. Even though its projected start is still some time away, planners are already seeking artists who can lend their talents to the creation of art, which is to be displayed along this feature transit line. Joe Snyder of the Purple Line Project joins us with information on this interesting initiative. Hello, Joe, and thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me here.
For our viewers who are not familiar with the Purple Line, what is it and where will it run?
Okay, the Purple Line is a 16-mile east to west light rail line for the future that goes from Bethesda in Montgomery County over to New Carrollton in Prince George's County. It also connects up to the metro system, the DC metro system, the orange, red, and green lines.
Okay.
It connects to Amtrak, the MARC train, and many of the regional and local bus systems.
Nice. How many station stops will be a part of the Purple Line service?
There's 21 station stops along the line, but the art goes even beyond the station stops and will be into some of the integrated into the infrastructure, the retaining walls and bridges and things along the corridor as well.
Well, how was it decided that art should be an important part of this line and project?
The Purple Line has always had a very strong outreach program where they've gone out, and it's very important to them to engage with the community. And we see art as one of the great opportunities to engage with the community. If you see the Purple Line, the way it connects to the Metro line, it connects a lot of diverse cultures, socioeconomic cultures. And in that way, we see this as a journey along the line, and that there are many stories to be told and images that can be shown about the different areas along the line.
How many artists are needed for participation in this project?
We don't have the final number yet because we don't have the final opportunities all selected. But what we're doing right now is we're going out for a request for qualifications for artists. Okay. And from there, our selection committee will narrow that down to a group of qualified artists. Artists need to be either U.S. citizens or able to work, have authorization to work in the U.S. But we're looking for professional artists.
Okay. What kind of art are you seeking?
We're seeking all types of art. We're seeking two-dimensional and three-dimensional art. We're seeking all great art we can get. We're looking for people who are muralists, people who are mosaicists, people who work in metal, people who work in wood, people who work in a wide variety of two- and three-dimensional mediums. We're also looking for two-dimensional artists that create paintings, design, and photography that can be incorporated into the glass structures that are the beautiful shelters that we have. The art is seen as an enhancement to the architecture of the shelters and the infrastructure.
Will artists be paid to create these works of art, or will this be considered a volunteer effort?
No, definitely the artists will be paid. We're not looking for volunteers. As soon as we get through the request for qualifications, where they submit their qualifications, we will go on to a procurement phase. In the procurement phase, we will ask artists to create proposals. And of course, we will pay stipends for those proposals. And as the finalists move forward, they will be paid for the design and any fabrication they do or any piece of this, the work that they create.
Okay. How will artists be selected? What criteria are you going to use to decide who's going to be selected?
First and foremost is the quality of the artist's work. That's the most important piece. We also look at their professional recognition. We look at their experience in the world. We also are looking with how they connect to the community, and if they're able to, work with the community. Their mastery of their technique, and we're also looking at whether they have some familiarity with the region.
Oh,
But the
Okay.
work itself must, in the long run, be very durable, be virtually maintenance free.
Wow. So when is the Purple Line slated for completion, and when will the launch of the art take place?
Right. The Purple Line's slated to be open in 2020.
Uh-huh.
And all the art will be present at that time because all art now is integrated into the system.
Nice.
It is in the shelters, it is in the railings and the plazas and the ground planes and the retaining walls and the bridges. It's in the lighting. We're looking for lighting artists as well.
Nice. Where might interested parties get additional information for this opportunity?
Okay, the place to look is www.purplelinemd.com, and there'll be a link there to our Art and Transit page. You also can go directly to www.callforentry.org, which is our cafe website, which receives all the applications.
One last question, Jill. How do you see this as a benefit?
Well, we believe art is always a benefit in life to people. It enhances people's lives, and we see it as enhancing the entire system with aesthetically more beautiful things to add to what is already the beautiful architecture and all. And we also see it as a way to connect to the communities and also give each station a unique identity.
Great. Well, Joe, we appreciate you joining us today, and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Now, from the Purple Line to the proposed Red Line project, there are a number of upcoming open house meetings being scheduled to provide the community valuable information about the Red Line and the many important opportunities associated with the project.
As part of its ongoing commitment to inform and engage the community, the Maryland Transit Administration is hosting a series of Red Line open house meetings. The first of this recent round of meetings began last month, and they'll run through the 17th of November to allow community members to get updates on the Red Line project schedule, to see plans for corridor and station designs, and to speak to the Red Line Workforce Development Team about future Red Line related job and workforce training opportunities. The Red Line project presents tremendous opportunity for growth, development, and transportation throughout the Baltimore region, and the MTA recognizes the importance in hearing your questions, thoughts, and concerns about the Red Line project. You're invited to attend and to participate in open house meetings scheduled for Wednesday, November 12th, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the MSBC Community Educational and Outreach Center, 6665 Security Boulevard. Monday, November 17th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Bank America Center, 100 South Charles Street, Tower 2 in downtown Baltimore. And also on the 17th at Whitman, Rickard & Associates, 801 South Caroline Street in Baltimore. As always, information about the Red Line project is available anytime at your fingertips at baltimoreredline.com.
Coming up next, MTA has a convenient and hassle-free ride to all of this season's football action and fun at M&T Bank Stadium. We've got your winning game day travel plan just ahead. We're all excited about the promise of an exciting Ravens football season at M&T Bank Stadium. A huge part of enjoying game day begins way before kickoff with the question of how to get to the stadium without all the traffic and parking hassles. MTA surely has the answer. Buddy Ells of the MTA Marketing Division joins us with a number of travel options to the Ravens football. Hi, Buddy. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. We appreciate you coming today. How do you think the Ravens will do for the remaining of the season, Buddy?
I think they're going to probably go 9-7 this year. I think they've got a couple little issues they've got to work out with their defensive backs and also a little bit with their offensive line, keeping them nice and tight so that Joe Flacco can throw that ball down the field.
All right, now, so that we can see all this happen, what's the best way to the Ravens football game at M&T Bank Stadium?
I'm glad you asked, and there is only one way to get there, and that's on MTA.
All right. What are some of the modes of transportation on MTA that the customers would take?
Well, let's start with light rail because it takes you right to the stadium.
Oh, okay.
drops you off there. That's our Hamburg Street stop.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get on light rail from the north, Hunt Valley, heading south, or down in Glen Burnie, heading north, and you get off right there at Hamburg Street stop. It's very convenient, and you're there in time to do all the tailgating you want to do.
Wow. Does the MTA offer special service to Ravens football, or is this all-day regular revenue service used for these games?
Well, a lot of these games are on Sundays, so we have our weekend and holiday schedule. For example, we just talked about light rail, and their schedule on that day is from 11 a.m. till 7 p.m. And so regularly during the week, they run from 5 a.m. to midnight, and on Saturdays, they run from 6 a.m. until midnight.
Oh, great.
Metro Subway always runs 5 a.m. Weekdays from 5 a.m. to midnight, and on the weekends again 6 a.m. to midnight. That's another great way to get downtown, where you can walk right on down to the stadium, or you can make that connection at Lexington Market light rail stop, get on light rail and get off at Hamburg Street. Boom, you're there.
Wow, so there's a couple of number of options people can take to get to the game.
Yeah, and that's just the beginning of it. We also have local bus service that runs all over the area, going downtown. In fact, we have 31 different routes that go downtown.
Wow.
So we'll be able to get you down there. And the other thing that's very good now is MARC train weekend service on the Penn line.
Nice.
That means that people coming from the D.C. area can hop on that train at Union Station, come on up. They'll arrive in Baltimore's Penn Station around 11:30 in the morning, go on over to the 1 o'clock game. They can get on a 5:30 train heading back from Penn Station and be home at 6:30 in the evening in D.C.
Wow, I've heard great things about that MARC service. Approximately how many people does the MTA transport to Ravens football?
15,000 people.
Oh. Is there an adjustment made to the light rail and metro schedules to accommodate larger ridership just in case, more people decide to come out?
I think it'd be best to say the way that we adjust for that is instead of running what's known as a two-pack that has two cars on it for light rail, we'll add an additional car, making it a three-pack. And that will accommodate much more in the way of our customers going on down to the game.
Buddy, how much will it cost to ride MTA to M&T Bank Stadium?
$1.60 one way, $3.20 round trip, and $3.50 for a day pass. We've got the MTA Ravens season pass.
Oh,
for
wow.
$35. You'll have this. You won't have to wait in any lines at the ticket vending machines. You just go up to the ticket vending machine on light rail and hit the target, and you'll be able to hop on the train and get going. Same with Metro Subway. You just take your card and touch it on the fare gate, and we'll get you downtown.
Okay, all right. Now, tell us a little bit about the park and ride lots on light rail and Metro, and where are they, and speak to the convenience of those lots themselves.
Happy to do so. On Metro Subway and on light rail, those lots are all free. The ones heading south from Hunt Valley, there's many of them from which to choose to park. They're big. They accommodate a lot of vehicles, and then you can go on down and hop on one of our trains and get on down to the stadium. The same with Metro Subway from Owings Mills or from Johns Hopkins at the other end, the east side. They'll be able to go to one of our stations that has parking and make their way onto the stadium.
Good. So, buddy, have you been to any of the games this season so far?
Not yet, but if I'm asked, I'm willing to go.
All right, buddy. Well, we appreciate you being with us today and giving us our many options to get to. We really do appreciate it. Up next, a look at our area efforts to feed the hungry this coming holiday season and how you can help in that effort. That's just ahead. It may be hard to believe, but nearly 500,000 people in our immediate area indicate a consistent inability to access food. That means about 1 in every 7 people in our area experiences hunger. The Maryland Food Bank is working in an effort to combat these statistics and hunger in Maryland with a number of food drives, including one geared to the upcoming holiday season. Joanna Warner of the Maryland Food Bank joins us with information on how you can help. Hi, Joanna. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
What's the mission of the Maryland Food Bank, Joanna?
Well, day to day, we distribute food to those in need. But our true mission is to lead the movement and nurture the belief that hunger in Maryland can be solved.
How did the food bank come to be?
Well, in 1979, the Maryland Food Bank was established.
Okay.
It was actually the first food bank on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
That year, we distributed 400,000 pounds of food throughout Baltimore City. Mm-hmm. But since then, we've actually expanded significantly. We have 3 facilities across the state. And to give you an idea of the comparison, last year alone, we distributed 42 million pounds of food.
Wow. Where does the Maryland Food Bank get the food it distributes?
Well, we have great relationships with food retailers, as well as wholesalers, distributors, farmers who donate their excess food products to us. In addition, we host a variety of food drives throughout the year, and then the general public can obviously donate as well.
Wow. How many employees or volunteers are part of the collection and distribution efforts?
Well, employees, we have about 135 across the state. When it comes to volunteers play a very pivotal role in our organization. Last year alone, I believe we had about 11,000 volunteers come out. We rely on them significantly because our warehouse is actually open 6 days a week. There's 2 shifts every day, sometimes 3. Mm-hmm. And we rely on those volunteers to help sort through the many donations we receive. They actually categorize all the donations into different groups so that we can package them and send them out to our community agencies quickly and efficiently.
You mentioned 3 locations. Where are those?
We have the main facilities outside of Baltimore here in Halethorpe. Mm-hmm. And then we have a facility in Western Maryland in Hagerstown, and then on the Eastern Shore in Salisbury.
Okay. How can members of the public contribute a food or monetary gift?
I would recommend going to our website, mdfoodbank.org. You can always click on the donate button there. Another great option is our virtual food bank, okay. Where we allow individuals and businesses to sign up. They can actually click on the products that they want to purchase or contribute to, set a goal, and track their progress, all while letting their family and friends know about their efforts. And that goes back to us. We are actually able to use those monetary donations to purchase the products we need most at a very low cost with the help of our wholesalers.
Okay, so how do potential food suppliers donate food or monetary gifts?
We actually have a team that focuses on large-scale food donations. Okay. They're our food sourcing team. Mm-hmm. So it would just be a matter of contacting the Maryland Food Bank, letting us know of your interest, and they would be able to help with that.
How does the Maryland Food Bank distribute food for the holidays?
We actually have a great network of community organizations that we work with. Mm-hmm. We work with approximately 975 soup kitchens, pantries, shelters, senior centers, and schools. So once the food comes into our warehouse and distribution centers, it goes out immediately to these agencies that distribute the food directly to clients in need.
How many people does the food bank feed during the holidays?
You know, the holidays used to be our busiest time of year, but now we're really a year-round operation. This past year, we distributed about 42 million pounds of food, wow, which equates to 35 million meals, which actually breaks down to about 96,000 meals every single day.
Wow. Well, Joanna, we appreciate you joining us today. Thank you so much for this valuable information.
Thank you.
Coming up next, your customer questions and concerns in our Ask the MTA segment. Stay with us. Welcome back. MTA Manager of Systems Engineering, Tammy Bolden, joins us to answer a few MTA customer questions and concerns. Tammy, what do you have for us today?
Well, we have some pretty good questions about light rail and metro.
Great.
And that first question is?
My question is, why are the elevators and escalators not worked upon during the night when the station is closed, opposed to the first thing in the morning, you find yourself running up and down the stairs chasing a train?
Well, we do apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused, but the MTA Metro has an extensive maintenance program for all of its elevators and escalators. And for a full listing of scheduled outages, please visit us on MTA's website at mta.maryland.gov/elevators-escalators. Next question.
I ride the subway daily from Owens Mills to the Shot Tower station. It is my understanding that the train runs around 40 miles per hour. My question to you is, why can't it run a little faster?
That's a pretty good question. Actually, our average speed is 55 miles per hour between stations, but we at our top speed is 70 miles per hour between Oak Court and Owens Mills. However, we do travel at lesser speeds only during the work zones so that we can ensure the safety of our workers and our patrons. Next question.
I'm wondering why the light rail can't run earlier on Sunday mornings when I have to be to work at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Well, our light rail only has a very short window of opportunity between Saturday night and early Sunday morning to allow our light rail personnel and outside contractors to complete major tasks to maintain the integrity and the safety of our light rail system. And our last question is?
Just wanted to know why the telephone reception on the subway system is kind of spotty. Here at the State Center, you can get reception almost to the platform, but in most of the other stations, there is none. So just wanted to know what you guys were doing to upgrade that.
Keep in mind that the Metro vehicle is a metal structure and it may cause the cellular signal to become very weak. And another attributing factor is that the cellular coverage provider for your particular service may have a very weak signal in that particular area. Well, that concludes the questions for today. And if you would like to ask the MTA a question, we would love to hear from you. So please visit us on MTA's website, Facebook, or Twitter.
Tammy, thank you for those great answers. We appreciate you joining us today. That brings us to the end of another Commuter Connections program. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Take care.